Hey guys, what's up? My name is Kayla and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a daily bread video. It's something that can really speak to what is going on in our lives right now. I believe this Bible verse is from Mark chapter 4 and chapter 5. If you want to follow along, I believe this word is going to be very helpful to the body of Christ because it can really speak to, the situations that we're facing right now and what is going on. This is going to be based on Jesus and being in the boat, calming the storm. Now, I know a lot of people have been doing this word lately based on this, but this might be a little different. You might get something different out of it. Watch and see if this is helpful to you. Of course, test the spirit, seek God for yourself, and see if, this is what He is speaking to you, if it resonates in your spirit, and maybe this will help you get some insight on the situations that we are individually facing. So I'm just going to kind of go through and read, and as I read, I'm going to stop and talk about it some, and kind of just give you guys a parallel with what's going on then and what's going on now and how we can relate to that. So I'm going to be starting with verse 35. And it says, "As evening came, Jesus said to His disciples, 'Let's cross to the other side of the lake.' So they took Jesus in the boat and started out, leaving the crowds behind, although other boats followed. Soon a fierce storm came up. High waves were breaking into the boat and it began to fill with water. Jesus was sleeping in the back of the boat with his head on a cushion. The disciples woke him up, shouting, 'Teacher, don't you care that we're going to drown?'" Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. So basically, Jesus says, okay guys, let's get in a boat. We're going to get in this boat and we're going to go to the other side of the lake. And so they get in the boat, they're going across the lake, and Jesus goes to sleep. And all of a sudden, some oppression came against them, some things were coming against them that made them afraid. And suddenly they start shouting for Jesus. And now think of your life, and if you are going through anything, you may feel afraid, you may, chaos, confusion, whatever it may be, whatever feelings that you're feeling, think about that and how that can kind of relate to your life. Now, Jesus already told His disciples that they were going to go across the lake. He already told them the plan before they even got in the boat. He told them what was going to happen, and so He is just expecting them to have faith in Him, and that they were going to get to the other side of the lake safe and sound, right? And so halfway through comes this storm, and the disciples get afraid. They are worrying. They don't know, what to do. And I believe in this moment, Jesus really wanted them to speak and use the authority that God has given them themselves. Jesus wanted the disciples to speak for themselves and to cast off the storm. High waves were breaking into the boat and it began to fill with water. And so, they shout to Jesus, "Teacher, don't you care that we're going to drown?" And so they wake Jesus up because they thought He wasn't there, almost like He wasn't there. They thought, oh, He's not there for us. He doesn't care for us. He's not doing anything. Teacher, don't you care? Don't you care that we're about to drown? Don't you care that I'm going through this battle? Don't you care that I'm being attacked by all these demonic spirits, Jesus? Where are you at? Don't you care that I'm facing this horrible sickness or this death and loss in my life? Where are you, Jesus? Aren't you gonna help us? Aren't you gonna vindicate us and resurrect us, restore us? And so when Jesus woke up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Silence, be still." Suddenly the wind stopped and there was a great calm. Then he asked them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" So Jesus eventually wakes up and he rebukes the wind, the waves, and the storm. He uses his authority and speaks to it. Then the storm basically comes under the authority of Jesus and him speaking towards it. And so the storm completely stopped. And then Jesus turns, after Jesus dealt with the storm and what the disciples were going through, he looks at them and he says, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith? Do you still not believe that I'm going to do what I said I was going to do? That we're going to make it to the other side? Do you still not believe in who I am and the authority that I have given you? Do you still not believe? Do you still not have faith in who I am and what I'm saying I'm going to do?" Then the disciples were absolutely terrified. "Who is this man?" they asked each other. "Even the winds and waves obey him." So when God does this in your life, when God finally, wakes up and moves in your life, and you finally see that manifestation of God coming in for you and God making a way for you, you're going to be like, wow, look at what Jesus did. Even the winds and the waves obey him. Even the bones in my body obey him. They were completely restored and healed. Even my mindset obeys him and comes under the authority of him. The demons that are tormenting me day and night, the bad dreams I'm having, the oppression and the sadness, anxiety, depression, the stress, it all comes under the authority of Christ. They finally get to the other side of the lake, and Jesus gets out of the boat. When Jesus climbs out of the boat, this is chapter 5, a man possessed by an evil spirit came out from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the burial caves and could no longer be restrained, even with a chain. Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, as he often was, he snapped the chains from his wrist and smashed the shackles. So whenever this evil spirit was bound up, he didn't stay there very long. Whenever people, took authority over this evil spirit that was possessing the man, he didn't stay. He was disobedient to the authority of Christ, okay? So he snapped these chains and smashed the shackles. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Nobody was strong enough in their authority to completely deal with this evil spirit. Nobody was strong enough courage-wise. Nobody was strong enough in their faith. Day and night, he wandered among the burial caves and in the hills, howling and cutting himself with sharp stones. When Jesus was still some distance away, this man saw him, ran to meet him, and bowed low before him. With a shriek, he screamed, "Why are you interfering with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In the name of God, I beg you, don't torture me." For Jesus had already said to the spirit, "Come out of the man, you evil spirit." So if you notice, chapter 7, it says that this evil spirit shrieked through the man and says, this isn't the man speaking. This is the evil spirit that was possessing the man. "Why are you interfering with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God?" Jesus was already interfering with this evil spirit. And you may wonder how, if Jesus just arrived across the lake, how was Jesus already interfering with this evil spirit? Jesus was still some distance away. And this was done when Jesus spoke to the storm, right? So these things just don't happen unless either God does it or the devil does it. So this evil spirit, as soon as they start crossing the lake, they're about halfway through, this evil spirit knew. This is like a territorial spirit, a regional spirit. He knew that Jesus and his disciples were coming across the lake and coming to where this, evil spirit was located. So he tries to delay, deflect, whatever he can do by putting fear into the disciples and causing this storm. The disciples couldn't do anything about it. They didn't do anything. And in chapter 5, it talks about how no one could restrain him. No one was strong enough to subdue this man and the evil spirit that was within him. It says, "In the name of God, I beg you, don't torture me." For Jesus had already said to the spirit, "Come out of the man, you evil spirit." Then Jesus demanded, "What is your name?" And he replied, "My name is Legion, because there are many of us inside this man." Then the evil spirits begged him again and again not to send them to some distant place. So they didn't want to go to another region. They didn't want to go to another location. They were so familiar with the territory that they were in, because they're territorial spirits. They were so familiar. They didn't want to leave. They didn't want to leave. They knew how to operate. They knew how to rise in their authority, these demons, over the people, causing fear within the people, possessing people. These demons knew what they were doing. There happened to be a large herd of pigs feeding on the hillside nearby. "Send us into those pigs," the spirits begged. "Let us enter into them." So Jesus gave them permission. The evil spirits came out of the man and entered the pigs. And the entire herd of about 2,000 pigs plunged down the steep hillside into the lake and drowned in the water. The herdsmen fled to the nearby town and the surrounding countryside, spreading the news as they ran. People rushed out to see what had happened. A crowd soon gathered around Jesus, and they saw the man who had been possessed by the legion of demons. You may not think that you are dealing with demons. You may not think that you're dealing with regional territorial spirits. Now, this word is not for everyone. This is for a specific people. But this is what you're dealing with. If you're wondering why oppression is so hard and why the things you're going through is so difficult, it's because you have a call on your life, and these territorial demons know that. They know that God is wanting to use you to make a giant difference within the region that you are in. You may have keys. You may be able to unlock doors for your specific region. You may be the reason why people get saved in your region, that there's revival, that there's healing, deliverance, that you begin to, that these people begin to see the manifestations of miracle, signs, wonders, that you're called to the fivefold, whatever it may be. These territorial spirits know. They know something is up with you. They just know that you are special and that you're valued by God, and that He has a big assignment and purpose for your life. A lot of us in the body of Christ are waiting on God. Well, when God finally moves, when He wakes up and He does what He's going to do, you are going to see that people are going to rush around you, and they're going to be like, whoa, look, like God is alive. God is alive. And it says, a crowd soon gathered around Jesus, and they saw the man who had been possessed by the legion of demons. They're going to see what God does in your life. They're going to see how greatly God is moving, how blessed you are, and how He is going to bring you through deliverance, reformation, and restoration in your life. You're going to be resurrected like Lazarus from the grave, and everyone's going to know it. They're going to know. And so these demons, these territorial demons that, maybe you've been trying to use your authority and it hasn't completely been working, have faith. Have faith. I am prophesying to you right now. Have faith, because God is going to make a move. God is going to do what He's told you He's going to do. You are going to get to the other side of the lake. Now, the whole reason Jesus went to this region, it literally says in verse 1, He arrived at the other side of the lake in the region of the I don't know what that word is, but he arrived in the region. When you get to this other side, just trust and believe that God is going to do what he said he's going to do. His word will not return to him void. We are going to make it to the other side. No matter how chaotic it may be, we are almost there. We are almost to the other side of the lake. Now, Jesus only went to the other side to deliver the people. So his disciples went through the storm. His disciples, that is me and you, went through a storm. We're going to go to the other side of the lake, but Jesus already told us it's going to be okay. We're going to get there. We just got to have faith. We got to believe. Even if we don't hear or see God moving right now, he may be asleep. He's going to wake up and he's going to do it. And so they go to this region. And it literally says Jesus uses his authority. He deals with these regional territorial spirits that were causing the storm for the disciples. But God delivered them and calmed everything around them. He brought peace and he fixed everything. So they get to the other side and they see all these other people that are dealing with this same regional territorial spirit that these disciples were facing on the way to help these people. And so when these disciples and Jesus get to the other side, Jesus is going to move upon these people and you're going to be there. He's going to use you if you're a willing vessel and you yield to him, he's going to use you to change history. And you're going to help these people that are possessed by demons, and everyone's going to see it. Everyone's going to see it. Everyone's going to know that who you serve. They're going to know that Jesus is alive, what he's done, what he's doing, and that you are with him. You are his disciple. And so he gets there to deal with this territorial spirit. The crowd gathered around Jesus, and they saw the man who was possessed by the legion of demons. He was sitting there fully clothed and perfectly sane, and they were all afraid. Then those who had seen what happened told the others about the demon-possessed man and the pigs, and the crowd began pleading with Jesus to go away and leave them alone. So these people are going to be so completely flabbergasted that they are going to be like, oh my gosh, look at the authority and the power that this person is walking in because of Jesus Christ. Like, they're going to be, they aren't going to know what to think. They're going to think, their little crystals, their cards, their magic ball, their spells, their potions, whatever they may be doing is so powerful until they come into contact with us and the resurrection power within us that Jesus is going to use through us. They plead with him to go away and leave them alone. As Jesus was getting into the boat, so Jesus gets back into the boat. He literally goes across the lake, gets out of the boat, deals with the territorial spirits and the demon-possessed man. Then he gets back into the boat. Jesus was getting into the boat. The man who had been demon-possessed begged to go with him. So these people are going to beg to go with us. God is going to use us to help so many people, and they're going to beg to go with us. But it says, Jesus said, no, go home to your family and tell them everything the Lord has done for you and how merciful he's been. And this is what's going to happen. We're going to say, no, go back to your family, go back to your town, and go and tell all of them how good God is, what he has done for you. We're going to lay hands on people. We may not even have to lay hands. God is just going to move. Like I said in one of my videos, our shadow is going to touch people, and the resurrection power within us is going to come upon them, and it's going to do great things. And we're going to say, no, go back to your families, go back to your town, and tell them what Jesus has done for you and how Jesus has used us to completely, deliver you and bring goodness and mercy into your life. And so the reason that we are going to say this and that this is going to happen, that they're going to go back to their families, is because God is wanting to restore the families. Everything within our nation starts with family. You get married, you and your husband don't take your kids to church. Don't expect your kids to grow up knowing God, even if they fall away. The Bible says that if you grow up, you will come back to the Lord. I don't remember how the verse exactly goes, but it talks about how your kids will come back to the Lord if they grow up in his ways. So it all starts with a family. God is wanting to reform and restore the family and the churches. And so if we can get ourselves, we can get our parents, we can get our brothers, our sisters, our kids, and we can start working within them, and we get a good foundation in the families, we're going to see it manifest in the schools, the government, the laws. We're going to see it everywhere else. Verse 20, so the man started off to visit the 10 towns of that region and began to proclaim the great things Jesus had done for him, and everyone was amazed at what he told them. So we're going to go and we're going to restore regions through the resurrection power within us. God is going to do it. He's going to deal with these regional territorial spirits that are over counties, that are over towns, cities, states. These are so powerful. These demons are so powerful. These demons aren't like the little ones that, we may deal with throughout the day. These bring many specific sins over the region. So say you live in a county and you have several towns in that county, okay? And say your county is really, really known for gay pride, the LBGTQ, I don't know what it is, okay? I have nothing against these people, but I have something against the sin. So say your county is so known for this gay pride and, participating in all the activities and Pride Month and the parades, just everything. That is from a territorial spirit. Or say you go into a certain city and you just feel almost like there's some cities in America that are very, very crime related. They have a lot of murders, shootings, killings. That could be from a territorial spirit hanging over and influencing the entire city to participate in this specific sin. Or say sex trafficking, pornography. If you live in a city that has abundance of bars and people are drinking and driving, and or you live in a town where there's so much poverty and homelessness. These are territorial regional spirits that aren't influencing one person but the entire vicinity and location. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. Get in there with God, surrender, because we are going to change history through this. We are going to change so many people's lives. I love you guys. I hope this was so helpful. And if it was, like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell so that you're notified each and every time I post. Share with a friend or two. I appreciate everyone that's been donating to my ministry, that's been reaching out, commenting, liking my videos. I pray God blesses you 100-fold, 1,000-fold. You guys mean so much to me. I will be posting another video, hopefully Friday or Saturday, between 5 to 9 East Coast time. So if you're interested, check that out. Make sure to subscribe, okay? So that you will see all my videos. What are you doing, lady? So you'll see all my videos. Yeah, that is all. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I'll be back as the Spirit leads. So, bye guys.